Hey everybody, welcome back to part 5, I guess. Let me think. See, we did Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yes, part 5 of my week for hosting the Jasmine Beckett Griffith Halloween Color Along on Shalene's Facebook group. The picture that I am working on is Voodoo in the Bayou, and I had started on her clothing. I finally decided what colors to do her hair. Not crazy about it, but I didn't want to do anything that might accidentally blend in with the background, so we're going to do those in purples, I think. So I was working on her clothing, and the two colors I was using are pumpkin orange and mineral orange of the Prismacolor Premieres, and then I also have my white pencil that I was using to kind of blend everything. And then I think I'm going to do like a little embellishment on her clothing, henna. We'll see how that works out. I'm going to try to do henna on that. And actually, I'm going to do that right now before I go any further so that I can, I'm going to sharpen my pencil, get a nice point on there. And I'm going to try to do that first so we can see if, you know, that's going to look okay or if I need to change colors. So, yeah. I have my Halloween music on again, in case you can't hear it. I mentioned before that if you have Comcast cable, it's on channel 441. That's called Sounds of the Seasons, and they do all kinds of different music throughout the year. For the holidays, various holidays, they do, like, they do patriotic music for, like, 4th of July, Labor Day, Memorial Day. They do Christmas music, of course. They start the Christmas music this year after November 2nd, I believe, is when they're going to do the Halloween music until November 2nd. And then they start on the Christmas music, and that goes through New Year's. And they actually do Christmas in July, too, which I didn't know until I looked up the Halloween schedule, because I was like, October 1st, I turned it on to that channel expecting my Halloween music, and it was Oktoberfest, which I have nothing against polka and that kind of stuff. I think that's fun as the next person, you know, I enjoy it, but I was like, I want some Halloween music, so they ran the polka until I think it was the 8th of October. So, yeah, I think that looks good. And then I can use like a white gel pen to put a little bit of a highlight in there too if I want to. So, I don't know if I'm blacking it or not. Sometimes I black it and sometimes I don't. Well, I already started coloring in here. I didn't need to color that, but now we'll just color the stripes of her corset this color too. It'll be alright. Yeah, so, I looked up the schedule to see when the Halloween music was going to start, and it was October 2nd, and then I was looking at all the different types of music that they have throughout the year, and one of the things that they listed was Christmas in July. So I thought that was kind of fun. We had that Christmas color along in July this year. Some of the ladies did, and I thought, oh, I wish I would have known that. That would have been kind of fun to listen to that. So now I know. So I just want to say thank you so much for everybody that's been watching and commenting. Your comments have all been really nice and inspiring, uplifting, encouraging. I appreciate that. I like the feedback. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying this. And I just appreciate you taking the time, you know, out of your day to include me. I think that's really cool. And I appreciate it a lot. So I just thought I would say that. Well, this is the Jaws theme. I don't know if you can hear it. So I thought I was like, what could I talk about today? And then I was thinking about this morning when I was having my coffee and stuff. I was remembering this thing. I was kind of being silly, and I was showing Keith how this woman acted. She was like an actor at a haunted attraction that I went to with my cousin and my sister, and my ex-boyfriend. And she was really funny. She had on like she was like set up at these stations. They had these stations like for people that were waiting in line, and she was sitting at like a dressing table, and she was wearing like a nightgown, and she had like bedraggled hair, and she looked really crazy. And I gotta move my pencils here. I don't want them to slide off. She was rocking back and forth, and she had a lipstick in her hand, and she kept like going around her mouth. There's like a little fruit fly or something in here. Go away. She was putting a lipstick around her mouth over and over and over again, like all outside of her lips, and she was rocking back and forth, and then she'd turn and she'd look at you and she'd say, "Do I look pretty?" You know, she was really crazy looking at him. So my cousin and I, a lot of times when we're goofing around, we'll reenact that, her doing that. So anyways, I was thinking about that time that I went to that haunted attraction and what happened, and I thought, I'll talk about that today because it's kind of a funny story. So as much as I love horror, I am not crazy about haunted attractions like haunted houses, haunted hay rides, okay. I don't like things that you have to walk through. If it's something I can ride through, I'm fine with it. But for some reason, I am petrified of the ones that you have to walk through. Now, I do think a lot of that goes because of the arthritis that I have, like in my hands and stuff. I'm always afraid I'm going to trip and fall. And when people start to fall, what's the first thing they do? They catch themselves with their hands, and I can't really do that. So I'm always really nervous about tripping and falling. And so I don't really like to go in places that are dark, where I can't see what's in front of me. You know, I'm afraid that I'm going to fall or whatever. So anyways, but this was, years and years ago. Because like I said, I hadn't even met Keith at that time. And we, at the fairgrounds where I used to live, they had like a haunted attraction. And I can't remember what the name of it was now. I think it was called The Haunting. And it was really popular, and it was a pretty good one. They had people that came from like, because I used to live kind of close to the Toledo, to the Ohio state line, so we had people that would come from Toledo area, and it was really popular. You know, it was quite crowded, and they had a lot of actors, and it was big and everything like that. So one year we decided to go. So it was me, my ex-boyfriend, my sister, my cousin, and I can't remember if their boyfriends, like my sister's boyfriend at that time and my cousin's boyfriend at that time. It's funny because now we're all married, but I don't remember if their boyfriends came or not. I'm sure they probably did, especially my sister's boyfriend. I think he was there. But anyways, so we went to this attraction called The Haunting, and when we got in there, you know, we were all together in a group, and then I was like, okay, as long as I was with them. Well, you got so far through it, and now that I look back on it, it was probably, you know, we were at the end pretty much, but to me, it felt like we were still in the middle of it or something. And you got so far as a group, and then you got to this point where they had a sign, 2 doorways. And it looked like a bathroom signs. One said ladies and one said gentlemen. And so the guys had to go through separately than the girls. And I was like, oh, because I had been holding on to the back of my boyfriend at that time. I'd been holding on like to the back of his jacket or whatever, you know, clutching onto his arm. And so he didn't even like hesitate, man. He just took off and ditched me as fast as could be. And so we started to go through the doorway, and there was like a person that was supposed to be like an attendant, but they were, you know, like a scary person. They said one at a time, you know, so they were only letting you out one at a time, and I'm letting you go through there one at a time. And I was like, no way, I am not going through here by myself. Well, my cousin and my sister, man, they split. They took off, and one went through, and then after so many minutes, you know, the other one went through, the attendant person let the other one go through. And then it was my turn to go through. And I was so petrified. I was taking like these little itty bitty baby steps. And I was holding on to the wall, like putting my arms up against the wall. And because I wasn't going to walk in the middle of the room. I didn't know what was in there. And so I was like holding on to the wall and taking the tiniest steps ever. I'm not kidding you guys. Seriously, the steps I was taking were so tiny. And oh my gosh, it was just so funny. So anyways, I kept thinking, I am never going to get out of here. And it wasn't like too terribly scary in there. So I'm going to do like those stripes on her corset. I just want to make sure you can see. I have the camera kind of down different than I had it yesterday, and I don't remember. I think I have it too far up. Anyways, so I'll finish the story and then I'll fix it. So I was taking these tiny steps, and I was like petrified, and I can't even remember now what was in that area that was so scary. And I don't really think there was anything too scary, but I was just really paranoid to go through by myself, and I was just I was such a baby about it. And anyways, I guess I didn't realize it because, you know, you're like going through this and it's happening to you, so you don't think about it. But I guess I hadn't come out. Like everybody else was in our group was already out, and they were waiting in the exit area, and I didn't come out, and I didn't come out, and I didn't come out. And so then finally the security like guard, I guess, asked them, are you waiting for somebody? And my sister said, yeah, my sister's still in there, she hasn't come out. And the guy the security guard said, well, how long has she been in there? And Jesse said, well, I don't know, it's been a while, you know. And he goes, do you want me to go in and get her, or do you want to go back in and get her? And Jesse said, well, I'll go in and get her. And so just as she started to go in to get me, I came out. But it's just funny because, you know, like they were laughing at me because I was so chicken, and I basically came to a standstill. I wouldn't go. I mean, I was taking like the tiniest steps ever. I'm like, you guys, I was so scared, and it was hilarious. So I don't do haunted attractions. Now, that being said, I'm interested in going to a corn maze this year. That's something that's on my list. I'd like to do that for sure. I think that would be a lot of fun. And I really would like to do that. But yeah, I'm not so big. There's a really big haunted house in Detroit that everybody here goes to called Erebus. It's been on like the Travel Channel and stuff like that. I think it's like 6 stories or something. And there is no way I would go through that. Absolutely not gonna happen, you know. Kind of funny. But like haunted hay rides and things like that where you're sitting down, I'm not afraid of those. I don't mind that kind of stuff. Or if you're like at the fair or something and you ride through a haunted house in one of those cars, that doesn't bother me. I'm not scared of that. It's just I don't want to go through ones that you walk through. It's funny because as much as I like scary stuff, you know, I'm afraid of that. Okay, I'm going to try to fix the camera because I like it to be down here and that's too low. So I'm going to actually, I think, I'm going to raise it up a little bit. So just bear with me for a second. That's the wrong way. And then I'm going to put it down. I'm going to scoot it a little. I guess I should have had this done before I started. Okay, now let me take it down a little bit again. Okay, so let's see. What do we have here? Sorry about this, you guys. I apologize for this delay here. There. We'll try that. and see how that goes. So, yeah, so I don't do the haunted house thing too often, actually. And I think, so I'm going to do my, grab my orange here. And oops, I'm not finished doing the stripes inner corset yet. I thought I was, but I'm not. Okay. I apologize. I'm just not with it today or something. I don't know. So here's one up here. Making sure you can, okay. I don't know why I can't get the camera angle right today. It's just weird. When I went to Niagara Falls, I went to the Canadian side of Niagara Falls because actually where I live at in Michigan is only about 4 hours from the Canadian side of Niagara Falls. So my friends and I, the ones I was talking to you about the other day about that we met on the Stephen King message board, we all got together and we went to Niagara Falls together. And it was a lot of fun. But they had some haunted attractions there and everybody wanted to go, and I was like, no, I better not, because I just don't know how they are, and you know, I don't know, I don't want to fall, I don't want to get in a situation that I can't get out of or whatever. So my friend that's from British Columbia, she lives on Vancouver Island, actually. She said, well, I don't want to go either, I'll sit outside with you. So we sat outside while everybody else went through the haunted house. And it was funny because they had like microphones inside of it, so you could hear the people that were going through it. And they were all like screaming and carrying on and laughing and everything. And we sat outside and listened to him, and we had a really good time just listening to them, you know. But she wasn't big on haunted stuff either. But it's just funny because as much as I like scary stuff, I just wasn't feeling it, you know. I'm gonna get a drink really quick. Okay, so I'm going in with my mineral orange color. And I'll color in the corset here. So I decided that even if I don't know, I'll make sure I finish this by the end of the week. I'll try my best, but even if I don't, I'll go over. You know what I mean? I'll keep going until it's finished. Because, you know, I want to. I've been having a lot of fun doing this. I was nervous about it, you guys. I was really nervous when Shalene asked me if I wanted to participate. I was flattered, but I was kind of nervous because I'm like, well, you know, I don't have a lot of people. I don't have a lot of subscribers. I'm not a big coloring channel. I just like to show, you know, like my supplies and what I get that's new, and I'll show off completed pages and everything. And then I started doing a few color alongs for the Deborah Muller group, and I was like, but we're kind of a small group there, and I didn't really feel uncomfortable or nervous or anything. But for some reason, doing this one made me nervous. I don't know if it's because the book, you know, or what. But I was kind of nervous. But you know what? I've had a really good time, and everybody has been so nice and left such nice comments that it hasn't, you know, I got over my nervousness very quickly. I don't know if you can hear that. It's Nightmare Before Christmas music. Yeah, this mineral orange just does not lay down good. I know I made that comment when I was coloring her pants, but it doesn't. It's not very smooth. This Tuscan Red almost looks the same as that henna. but that's okay. That's one of the problems I have, I think, when I color, is that I do colors that are too close together, too similar together sometimes. Ghostbusters. And then I'll go in with my pumpkin shade. So, I don't know what else to talk about. I'm having like yesterday, I was kind of running out of topics. I told you about the thing we're supposed to go to next week. That's the Halloween dinner package at Greenfield Village. So I'm really looking forward to that. I told you about my dress. I did get a petticoat. I ordered it on eBay. And I was a little bit nervous that it wouldn't fit. And it came the other day and it fits perfectly. So, yeah. I mean, it's not anything like fancy, but it definitely... it's a nice full petticoat. It's kind of scrunched in the packaging, so I took it out, fluffed it out, and I hung it up on a skirt hanger so it can kind of air out, not air out, but like fill out a little bit, so it'll make my dress look nice and full. So I'm excited about that. I like wearing dresses and girly clothes. I'm very much a girly girl. But it's funny, like I've always been a girly girl where I always liked makeup. I always put like a lot of makeup on, and I always do a full face of makeup usually. I'm not one of those people that'll just do like mascara and lip gloss or something like that. For me, it's got to be the whole face or no face. I don't know why I'm like that. I just am. So I do everything. I do like the full steps and everything like that. But before I met Keith, I didn't really wear dresses very much, skirts or dresses. I wore pants a lot, or shorts sometimes, but not skirts and dresses. Although I would wear dresses for work. For a while, I worked at the courthouse in district court, and I had to wear I wore dresses and skirts for that. But I don't know, something about him when we got together, he really brought out that side of me that he really appreciates when I dress up or, take the time to look good, and compliments me a lot, and that helps. You feel good, and it makes you want to wear nice stuff and, go the extra mile when you have somebody that appreciates it, So I wear a lot of skirts and dresses and stuff like that with him. I'm also a big hat person. I like to wear hats. I've always liked hats. Sometimes I think I was born in the wrong era. Like I wish I was back in the days when ladies wore hats all the time when they left the house, But some women think they don't look good in hats. It's funny because I have a lot of people say to me, "Oh, you always look good in a hat," but I can't wear a hat. And I don't think that's true. I think the reason why women think that they don't look good in hats is because they're not used to wearing them. You know what I mean? Like if you were used to wearing it every day, if it was just a part of life, like back in the previous century, in the 50s, 40s, 30s, ladies always wore hats. It was just part of their outfit. And I think that's why women nowadays don't think that they look good in hats. It's just because they're not used to it. So I think everybody looks nice in hats. My mom, she always says, "I don't look good in a hat. I don't look good in a hat." But I'm like, yes, you do. You're just not used to it. So I'm going to blend a little bit of white in there. I was going to talk about books too, like my favorite horror novels and that, because I like to read so much. I kind of mentioned, we're already at 25 minutes, so maybe I'll save that for the next one. I think what I'll do is I won't stop it. I'll just keep talking because it'll pick up automatically. So, and now I'm going to color these other articles of clothing that she has, like this one over here and this over here. I don't exactly understand what they're supposed to be, but I can tell that they're supposed to be clothing. so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then while I have these pencils out, so I don't forget what colors I used. But, so I'm going to take that mineral orange and kind of go through all of it, and then I'll deepen it up again. Got like a pencil shaving on my pencil here. But as far as books go, I've told you guys already that my favorite horror author is by far Stephen King. But I only really like the older stuff. I would say things he's come out with in the past 20 years or so just have not done it for me. A lot of things have changed. And I think after his accident, his writing changed a lot. Probably his opinions and his outlooks on life changed a lot too. I mean, I don't know that for sure. I'm not speaking for him. I'm just, that's my own perception of maybe what's going on and why, he seems to be different. But a lot lately too, he seems to put his politics into everything. And I'm not going to talk about politics or anything like that, but I don't care what side of a political issue a person is or what political party they're affiliated with. But when I look to a person for entertainment value, like an author or a singer, and this is just me personally, but when I look to them for entertainment, to me it's like an escape, listening to music, going to a movie, reading a book. And when they start to put their politics in everything, it kind of ruins that for me. And so I've kind of gotten away from him in the past decade or so because he definitely is very political, and it's worked its way into his writing and everything like that. And I'm just not, it just doesn't do it for me. And like I said, it doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum the person is on. I just would prefer they not do that. But anyways, I used to really, really like almost everything he came out with. I would say prior to the year 2000 or 1995 at least. And my favorite book by him is definitely Salem's Lot. I love that book, and I recently reread it. I had read it numerous times in my life, but this fall I guess it was late summer when I reread it again. I just started to get that urge to revisit it again, and I really enjoyed reading that again. I think everybody's familiar with Salem's Lot and what it's about and everything like that. Everybody knows the miniseries from the 70s with the little boy floating up to the window and everything. It's really, really good. I like the miniseries a lot, but the book is something that's, to me, truly, truly horrifying. There are some scenes in that book that I think that are so tense that I actually become physically on the edge of my seat. Literally, I'm tensed up, waiting for the hammer to fall or whatever. I really, really like that book a lot. Some other ones by him that I really like a lot are, I liked The Stand a lot. It was never really one of my favorites. I think it is a good book. And I really enjoyed watching the new remake that was just out recently. But it's not one of my favorite books by him. But I do like The Stand a lot. I think that one's really good. I always liked Christine. Christine was a good one. I liked that a lot. And then I always liked also, well, his two sons are also writers now. Owen King, which I think Owen is the one that just wrote Sleeping Beauties with him. And that came out within like the last 2 weeks, I think. And then Joe Hill is his other son, and he has written quite a few books, and I have enjoyed two of them particularly a lot. Heart-Shaped Box and Nosferatu. And Heart-Shaped Box in particular, one of my favorites. I really, really like that one. I think it's really, really good. And it's really scary. Pumpkin Orange again. But Nosferatu is really good too. And I've only read that one once, so I should probably reread that. I've read Heart-Shaped Box numerous times. I probably read that at least 3 times, maybe 4. He also wrote Horns, which they made into a movie with Daniel Radcliffe, but that one's not one of my favorites. It's okay, but I don't think it's anywhere near as good as Heart-Shaped Box or Nosferatu. Kind of quit talking because I know that camera's going to turn off and then start up again, so I don't want to miss anything, be cut off and lose any content. I know any minute now it's going to do that. Then another book that's one of my favorite horror novels, and it's